How to cite this article. Tsiligiannis, A. 2020. Why isn't urban development sustainable? An institutional approach to the case of Athens, Greece. Journal of Contemporary Urban Affairs, 4, 1, 71-78. https://doi.org/10.25034/IJQA.2020.v4n1-7. Journal of Contemporary Urban Affairs. 2020, Volume 4, Number 1, pages 71-78. Why isn't urban development sustainable? An institutional approach to the case of Athens, Greece. M.Sc. Antonios Tsiligiannis, head of the Investments and New Projects Unit at the Municipality of Ixelles, Brussels, Belgium. Email, a.tsiligiannis@gmail.com. abstract. Despite the rise to prominence of sustainable planning, the state of urgency and the pressure imposed by the extreme competition between metropolitan territories reduces sustainability to a market-oriented doctrine for deregulated urban development. The aim of this article is an exploration of the current Athenian urban crisis, by centering on sustainable urban development plans, territorial planning, institutions, and urban policies. To this end, the phenomenon of urban crisis is explained as a derivative of the failure of sustainability reforms. By establishing a link between the institutional framework governing urban development and the success or failure of sustainability reforms, this article seeks to contribute to the discussion around the attainability, scope, and impact of sustainable urban development plans, through the hypothesis that as long as territorial planning is used as means towards speculative urban development, it will only be equivalent to that of a real estate facilitating mechanism. It is argued that the urban development model of Athens, as well as the role that institutions have in its shaping, is incompatible with any notion of sustainability. The main contribution of this article is to potentially help towards developing a critical reflection on how projects, plans, territories and sustainability should be approached. Journal of Contemporary Urban Affairs, 2020, 4, 1, 71-78. https://doi.org/10.25034/IJQA.2020.v4n1-7. www.ijqa.com. Copyright 2019 Journal of Contemporary Urban Affairs. All rights reserved. 1. Introduction. 1.1. Focus. Currently, the answer to the global economic and ecological crisis, along with its social and political implications, appears to be sustainable urban development. Sustainable urban development has become a portmanteau term including a wide variety of heterogeneous notions. In this regard, several critics emphasize that sustainable urban development has nowadays become a caricature of a more serious consideration. Koolhaas, 2014, as well as a polished term for the alarming practice of providing growth to declining economies through speculative urban development. Corresponding author. Head of the Investments and New Projects Unit at the Municipality of Ixelles, Brussels, Belgium. Email address, a.tsiligiannis@gmail.com. articleinfo. Article history. Received March 23, 2019. Accepted August 3, 2019. Available online September 1, 2019. Keywords: sustainable development, historical institutionalism, path dependency, urban policies, Athens. This work is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, Node-RIVS 4.0. CC by M.Sc and D. This article is published with open access at www.ijqua.com. Journal of Contemporary Urban Affairs, 4, 1, 71-78/2020. M.Sc. Antonios Tsiligiannis 72. Consequently, despite the rise of sustainable territorial planning both as a fast-developing industry and as a policy priority, they suggest that, to this day, it has provided us only with some relatively isolated urban experiments that cannot be scaled up to ensure the sustainability of an entire metropolis and has aggravated urban greenwashing and environmental segregation. Davis, 2006, p. 15. In this article I attempt to support the thesis that sustainable urban development attempts have often resulted in a series of profound mutations affecting urban societies deeper than the broader crises at source. 1.2. Background. The diffusion of planning guidelines, technical formulas and management techniques, has rendered what literature describes as sustainable territorial planning a decisive factor that mutates metropolitan territories. Contemporary planning policies set sustainable urban development plans, as well as flagship development and infrastructure projects as the regulatory mechanisms that are called upon to unify profoundly heterogeneous spaces and to organize them towards attaining social and ecological sustainability. Rogerson and Boyle, 2000, pages 133 to 196. Consequently, these tools are gradually becoming the ordering mechanism of the urban field. Waldheim, 2016, p. 15, and the main parameter of the contemporary urban condition. Graham and Marvin, 2001, pages 8. 16, prejudging the possibilities and the methods with which sustainable territorial development is soaked. Easterling, 2014, pages 11 to 14, 18 to 21. However, if the lack of appropriate sustainability tools impedes the sustainable rebalancing of territorial organization, their existence alone does not guarantee the regulated transition of territories towards sustainability either. Rodrigue, Comtois, and Slack, 2013, pages 1 to 8. In this regard, as the transition towards sustainability is undertaken under the urgency and pressure imposed by the extreme competition between metropolitan territories, it is speculative real estate development that materializes the material and immaterial global flows. Asher, 1995, pages 7 to 20. Thus, sustainability is reduced to a market-oriented doctrine for deregulated urban development. Dawson, 2017. Pages 15 to 16, 36, 39, 55. 1.3 Aim. Although institutional actors admit the existence of a generalized urban crisis as a result of real estate speculation and deregulated urban development, they also advocate that it can be treated as a temporary crisis that shall be resolved through targeted technical and policy measures that fall under the umbrella of sustainable urban development. However, the complexity of contemporary metropolitan territories requires an approach that can address the numerous economic, ecological, technological, and cultural links between urban development and sustainable planning. Karvanen, 2011, pages 187. 198. In this regard, even though environmental concerns about the sustainability of metropolitan territories are typically addressed by implementing technical and policy solutions, they are also deeply dependent from and interwoven with Social, economic, cultural, and political considerations, Gallon, 1987, pages 83 to 84. In this article I aim to concentrate on an exploration of the Athenian urban crisis that is centered on sustainable urban development plans, territorial planning institutions, and urban policies. To this end, I attempt to explain the phenomenon of urban crisis as a derivative of the failure of sustainability reforms, by illustrating how path-dependent institutions hinder policy change. I seek to highlight how and why a long-term vision of urban development based on the principles of sustainability appears difficult to achieve in the case of Athens. In a broader context, I also wish to contribute to the discussion around the attainability, scope, and impact of sustainable urban development plans. 1.4 Hypothesis. Both institutional actors and a substantial number of academics agree that Athens has been facing an urban crisis since at least the beginning of the Greek financial crisis of 2009. This discourse is often conducted by resorting to technocratic and aesthetic arguments, and through a purely financial and architectural spectrum. Dragonas, 2011, pages 12 to 15. My hypothesis is that as long as territorial planning is used as means towards speculative urban development, it will only be equivalent to that of a real estate facilitating mechanism. Instead of trying to explain how the urban crisis in Athens is an unfortunate byproduct of last decade's breaking down of the Greek economic development model, I argue that in fact the urban development model of Athens has always been essentially the same. Moreover, this hypothesis suggests that the production and the consumption of urban space as a real estate commodity is an inherent characteristic of the prevailing urban development in Athens. Lastly, by pointing to the recurrent crises in Athens under the current development model, I attempt to highlight the ways that this model, as well as the role that institutions have in its shaping, is incompatible with any notion of sustainability. 2. Main part. 2.1 Disciplinary approach. The interdependent urban systems composing Athens are created by a complex array of structures and agents, and take into account several and varied agendas. Varnelis, 2009, pages 6. Journal of Contemporary Urban Affairs, 4, 1, 71-78/2020. M.Sc. Antonios Tsiligiannis 73. 17. Institutional theory can highlight the overarching systems of values, traditions, norms, and practices that shape or constrain territorial transformation, providing analytical assistance to the understanding of the direction, objective, and meaning of the processes unfolding on metropolitan territories. Peters, 1996, pages 205 to 220. The identification of critical junctures and link sequences as conditioning factors of the urban development path of Athens. Carides, 2008, pages 15. 22, facilitates the understanding of how the institutions that currently direct sustainable policies in Athens have been shaped. These institutions have been forged through a long path-dependent accumulation process of rules, laws, norms, incentives, and social relations, as well as contradicting responses to prior critical junctures. Connolly, 2018, pages 8 to 11. As a result, some structures are more conducive to sustainability transitions than others. Hansen and Koenen, 2015. Pages 92 to 109. The involvement of international organizations and private actors in the planning process of Athens has also resulted in policy transfer, which encouraged specific mechanisms for dealing with urban processes. In this regard, the failure of policies that set sustainable urban development as the way to achieve sustainability goals in Athens can be attributed either to the incomplete implementation of such policies without considering local sensitivities and inherent institutional drift, Torfing, 1999, pages 290 to 291, or to the choice of an inappropriate solution, which path-dependent institutions could not implement. Dolowitz and Marsh, 2000, pages 5 to 23. 2.2. Methodology. By making use of historical institutionalism, I attempt to identify and examine the critical junctures in the urban history of Athens, as well as the link sequences that have shaped the urban development path of Athens. To this end, I explore and compare the ideas, challenges, narratives, and discourses of formal and informal actors at a national and local level. This includes not only the official version of the Athenian urban history, but also its informal version and aspects. In addition, I examine whether and to what extent a process of coercive or imposed ideological transplanting occurred, mainly by analyzing the predominance of international organizations and of global economic factors and actors to the detriment of national and local agendas, Dolowitz and Marsh. 1996, pages 343 to 357. Furthermore, I investigate the adoption and advocacy for specific urban policies and legal frameworks as best practices, as well as the development of new planning bodies and mechanisms, Moran, 2010, p. 27. 2. This end, I assess institutional interdependence and global policy networks by examining specific sustainable policy adjustments and reforms, Stone. 2004, pages 545 to 566, at all levels of territorial planning in Athens, as well as the role that these policies accord to urban development. These are in turn juxtaposed to the recurrent and prevailing practices of urban development in the metropolitan territory of Athens, throughout its urban history. The limitations of this article impose mostly a synthesis and juxtaposition of data gathered by secondary sources. However, primary sources have been used when and where it was necessary and feasible. 2.3. Findings. Athens amasses over one-third of Greece's population and half of the country's industrial and tertiary production, Ekonomou, Petrakos, and Psycharis, 2016, pages 193 to 216. However, its economic, political, and cultural hinterland roughly coincides with the rest of the Greek state. Athens is therefore a dynametropolis, whose pressures accumulate people and activities spatially and materially while polarizing international, physical, and symbolic flows, Doxiadis, 1968, pages 26 to 30. This has resulted in a peculiar landscape of densely packed suburbs, seasonally occupied exurbs, seaside touristic units, infrastructure space along the main networks, industrial and tertiary enclaves, and exclaves, and speculative agricultural installations, extending for tens, or even hundreds of kilometers from the city center, Burgle, 2002, pp. 20 to 21. Oddly enough, up until the early 2000s, Athens had been credited also with one of the Lowest competitiveness indicators in Europe, due to what was considered a variety of endemic factors. Often portrayed in negative colors, the urban development of Athens has been characterized as unplanned, wild, and spontaneous, permitting the creation of an enlarged middle class and bridging the social, ideological and cultural differences of the interwar period. Theocharopoulou, 2017, pages 9-18. Contrary to these preconceptions implying the lack of a higher-level agency and the employing of a random procedure, the urban condition of Athens may be explained better by the antithesis between the tactics employed by societal agents in their attempt to claim their right to participate in the transformation of the city, Lefebvre, 1996, p. 158, and the obligation of authorities to adopt and implement coherent sustainable planning policies. It is also characterized by the pivotal role that has been accorded to infrastructure as a key regulating mechanism ensuring the sustainability of territories, but also as a tool facilitating the deregulation of territorial development by normalizing the application of market rationale. Clouzet, 2007, pages 18, 27-28. Athens became the capital of the Greek state in 1834, largely serving symbolic, political and economic motives that necessitated the existence. Journal of Contemporary Urban Affairs, 4, 1, 71-78/2020. M.Sc. Antonios Tsiligiannis 74. Of a distinct center, which could exercise control over the Greek territory. The Ottoman town grew rapidly into a large Balkan city with its references to the west, despite the internal turmoil, expansion, wars and bankruptcies that occurred during the 19th century. The political and economic instability that was the main characteristic of this period is considered to be the principal reason discouraging investment in productive sectors and turning private investors towards the construction sector. At the same time, however, these same conditions limited the financial capabilities of the Greek state, and the city would not acquire adequate urban infrastructure until as late as the early 20th century. Furthermore, the first city plan of Athens that was drafted by the architects Klein this and Schaubert might have predicted and provided for extensive green areas and a large archaeological zone around the Acropolis. However, the aggressive reactions from the landowners whose properties and speculative interests were affected led to it never being implemented. Shortly after, a new, more modest city plan by the architect Klein was approved, based on the earlier version, only for it to never being implemented in its totality. As well, Carides. 2014, pages 85-130. The critical juncture establishing Athens as a metropolis was the effort to integrate a large number of the Asia Minor refugees in 1923, which resulted in almost doubling its population. The interwar period saw the implementation of a broad urbanization operation aiming at their integration into the Athenian society, which prompted the first successful effort to equip the city with industrial installations. The introduction of reinforced concrete, already from the beginning of the century, as well as its progressive generalized application in the wider sector of construction, facilitated and steadily promoted the construction of multi-story buildings. In 1929, the enactment of a specific law advancing the institution of horizontal ownership and vertical segregation of buildings permitted rights of CO ownership of the entire lot for the first time and gave birth to the first apartment blocks, epsilon phi eta mu epsilon rho. Tau eta kappa upsilon beta epsilon rho nu sigma epsilon omega Government Gazette, 1929. The first state construction code, which went into effect the same year, significantly impacted the morphology of the structures, by introducing a strict standardization in the organization of the stories and of the facades, epsilon phi eta mu epsilon rho tau eta kappa upsilon beta epsilon rho nu sigma epsilon omega Government Gazette, 1929. This resulted in the distinct typology of the Greek version of the apartment block, the polykatoikia, that would be multiplied all across the Athenian territory. At the same time, the institution of the antiparokia, a uniquely Greek arrangement, whereby the owner of a building plot or smaller building was compensated with new apartments, in lieu of payment for the land that he relinquished to the contractor who built a polykatoikia on it, was responsible for the massive explosion in the built environment and the ultimately speculative increase of land value. However, this extremely productive period for the private construction sector could not be met by the necessary infrastructure projects due to the inability to secure funding during the Great Depression. Tsiligiannis and Kaparos, 2013, pages 12 to 65. Therefore, the implementation of metropolitan planning was abandoned, by tolerating the already existing laissez-faire attitude. Carides, 2015, pages 125 to 184. The 1950s found the country ravaged from a brutal foreign occupation and a disastrous civil war. The Greek authorities sought to ensure internal political stability, while having to address the reconstruction of almost the entire pre-war infrastructure and the depopulation of large parts of the Greek countryside, with the crumbling post-war economy. Immediately after the war, U.S. officials supported and coerced Greek governments actively into applying some kind of aided self-help program on several occasions. In fact, American consultants and experts involved in the Greek reconstruction experiment did not only expect the restoration of the destroyed settlements but also the internal stabilization of the country, the diffusion of free market norms and policies, and eventually the smooth integration of Greece into global post-war capitalism. Therefore, the role of the capital city as the control center of the country was consolidated predominantly by allowing an informal and self-regulated urban development process to materialize in Athens. Heidenreich, Taros, and Detlev, 2007, pages 11 to 35. This occurred through the extensive expansion of Athens by means of arbitrary and often illegal settlements, called aphtherta, that were a posteriori legalized and incorporated into the city. Once officially recognized and incorporated into the urban fabric, the aphtherta would acquire legal planning rights and could be further densified, in most cases, by applying the institution of the antiparokia. The increasing housing needs were met without a welfare program, and no serious social housing programs were ever undertaken, even though almost a quarter of the pre-war housing units had been destroyed. This resulted in the massive reconstruction of Athens and the consequent rapid economic recovery of the country happening with minimum state intervention. Pascu, 2008, pages 38 to 42. In less than 3 decades, Athens tripled its size and population but lacked a coherent metropolitan planning policy. What became clear during the post-war wave of construction was the emergence of a new branch of the Greek economy, that of the construction capital. The construction sector became the most significant part of the economy, often being labeled as Greece's heavy industry, indirectly implying that. Journal of Contemporary Urban Affairs, 4, 1, 71-78/2020. M.Sc. Antonios Tsiligiannis 75. It made up for the lack of an actual heavy industry, as well as the locomotive of the Greek economy, mainly because it set the rhythm of growth of the national economy. By the end of the 1970s, Athens had achieved a 65% ratio of owner-occupied dwellings, leaving the renting of property only to tertiary students and newly arrived immigrants. Emmanuel, 1994, p. 348. Several inhabitants of the extremely dense inner city embarked in a first wave of suburbanization that could not be accompanied by public transportation infrastructure, thus depending solely on car mobility. The introduction of regulatory planning mechanisms and of the first regulatory plan for the region of Attica in the early 1980s, as well as the investment in large infrastructure projects across the country and the institutionalization of sustainability in the late 1990s, attempted to halt the alarming population growth of Athens. This soon proved to be detrimental to both the city center and its periphery, as it favored an intense phenomenon of sprawling of the already existing Athenian population. Conversely, the Athens 2004 Olympic Games encouraged the shifting of national and regional policy towards the objective of raising the competitiveness of Athens and modernizing its infrastructure. Ekonomou, Gedimis, Demathats, Petrakos, and Pyrgides, 2001, pages 329-346. The allocation of significant funds for the realization of flagship development and infrastructure projects, as well as the amendment of the metropolitan planning framework with fast-track methods, aimed at overcoming the lack of a national cadastre and of a forest registry while minimizing delays in the planning implementation processes. However, this also triggered an even more deregulated, third wave of diffused urbanization, whereby construction either preceded planning or speculatively followed public investments. Korianopoulos, Paganis, Koukoulas, and Drymanidi. 2010, pages 249-259. Similarly, the economic crisis that Greece is currently experiencing provides a pretext for employing a strategy of deregulation and exceptional measures, with permanent rather than temporary characteristics. Gunder, 2010, pp. 298-314. Despite facing unprecedented levels of vulnerability to forest fires and flash floods, planning processes and infrastructure projects in Athens either ignore or bypass altogether the required environmental impact assessments, by giving much greater weight to the word development rather than the word sustainable. OECD, 2009, pages 15-16. The institutional system of urban planning in Greece is currently defined by the segmentation of urban planning actors and the fragmentation of urban decision-making within a strongly centralized administrative context, bound to conform to EU strategic planning and environmental legislation. Moreover, the informal intervention of social actors in the urban planning process is significant, which renders the official procedures of public consultation auxiliary or even irrelevant. Giannakourou, 2004, pages 51-60. Over the years, this has increasingly favored speculative urban development in detriment to any notion of sustainability. At least 77% of the settlements in the country are estimated to be unplanned, while 11% among them are situated still beyond any regulatory consideration. From 1983 till 2013, at least 4 laws legalizing the AFTHERTA have been introduced, each and every time declaring the temporary and final nature of these legal provisions. The last law is still in force today, having been extended for the 7th time, epsilon phi eta mu epsilon rho tau eta kappa upsilon beta epsilon rho nu sigma epsilon omega. Government Gazette, 2013. These laws have poured billions of euros into state treasuries, in order to repay the national debt, and their constant extension showcases that putting an end to the urban anarchy is not their primary goal. Moreover, the ratification of the new regulatory plan for the Athens Attica region characterized a series of existing woodlands as metropolitan parks, where new planning regulations could be applied, permitting sports, cultural and leisure activities inside the parks. At the same time, in the Hellenican former airport site, which was initially supposed to become a large metropolitan park, the construction of 10,000 new housing units for 25,000 inhabitants, 7 hotels, 2 shopping malls, a casino, and a convention center has been approved. Epsilon phi eta mu epsilon rho tau eta kappa upsilon beta epsilon rho nu sigma epsilon omega Government Gazette, 2014. These contradictions introduce a peculiar approach to the regulation of space, whereby obsolete regulatory mechanisms and plans are kept in force and are modified through ad hoc procedures in order to accommodate infrastructure and development projects. Stathakis and Chatsimachalis, 2004, pages 26 to 47. The literature has attributed the peculiar conditions that shape the sustainable planning institutional framework of Athens to the ideological and cultural clash between the persistence of traditional practices and the call for modernity. Privlakis, 2000, pages 31. 34, 124 to 125, the implementation of a peripheral model of capitalism based on the accumulation of capital through speculative land development. Tsiligiannis, 2000, pages 12 to 14, 232 to 233, 244 to 262, as well as to the socio-political similarities of the Athenian urbanization process to those of cities in other Mediterranean, Leontidou, 1990, pages 7 to 13, 100 to 108, and Latin American countries. Petropoulou, 2011, pages 8 to 9, 13, 30 to 31, 40 to 41. The recurrent theme in the literature is that of an interaction between formal and informal institutions, which materializes in a mobilization of the territories around Athens through policy and infrastructure. Burgel, 1976, pages 25 to 53. Journal of Contemporary Urban Affairs, 4, 1, 71-78/2020. M.Sc. Antonios Tsiligiannis 76. 3. Conclusion. In this article I attempted to complement and address a gap in the existing literature, by examining the Athenian process of territorial development in relation to the objectives, methods and shortcomings of the Athenian planning policy mechanisms. Contrary to the limitations of the past, primary data have now become easily accessible, thanks to technological advances, digital platforms, and the digitalization of public data and archives, which are now accessible to the public. With the aid of specialized software, a large quantity of these data can be filtered, compared, and synthesized. within a more reasonable time frame. Moreover, several educational and research institutions have contributed to the pool of secondary data, while investigative journalism and reporting, as well as specialized academic conferences, have significantly improved the development of a critical discourse around the research question. This means that potential researchers of the Athenian urbanization process may find it easier than before to conduct their research on the topic. Despite the more favorable settings under which this research was conducted, my principal goal in this article was limited to identifying and clarifying the general context under which the success or failure of sustainable planning in Athens occurs. This goal, however, is part of a broader objective that attempts to illuminate the relation between planning policies and factual urban development, as well as to assess its territorial impact in terms of sustainability. On an even broader context, this objective has the potential to help develop a critical reflection on how projects, plans, territories, and sustainability should be approached. In this regard, further future research on the subject will enable the adoption of a critical approach in the study of sustainable territorial planning, by making use of a broader methodological toolset, and by expanding the analysis to more than one case study. Acknowledgement. This research received no specific grant from any funding agency in the public, commercial, or not for-profit sectors. Conflict of interests. The author declares no conflict of interest. References: Asher, F. 1995. Metapolis ou l'avenir des villes. Metapolis or the Future of Cities. Paris, Editions. Odile Jacob. Bergel, G. 2002. Le Miracle Athénien au XXe siècle, the Athenian Miracle in the 20th Century. Paris, CNRS Editions. Bergel, G. 1976. Alpha Theta Nu Alpha, Eta Alpha Nu Pi Tau Upsilon Xi Eta Mu Iota Alpha. Mu Epsilon Sigma Omicron Gamma Epsilon Iota Alpha Kappa Pi Rho Omega Tau Epsilon Omicron Upsilon Sigma Alpha. Athens, the development of a Mediterranean capital. P. Linardos Rollman, Transaction. Athens. Xanthus. Korianopoulos, I. Paganis, A. Koukoulas, S. and Drymanidi, S.O. 2010. Planning, Competitiveness and Sprawl in the Mediterranean City, The Case of Athens. Cities. 27, 4. Pages 249 to 259. https://doi.org/10.1016/j.cities.2009.12.011. Clouzet, A. 2007. Ville libérale ou ville durable? Répondre à l'urgence environnementale. Liberal city or sustainable city? Responding to the environmental urgency. Paris. Editions de l'Aube. Connolly, J.J. 2018, March 1. From Systems Thinking to Systemic Action, Social Vulnerability, and the Institutional Challenge of Urban Resilience. City and Community, 17, pages 8 to 11. https://doi.org/10.1111/seco.12282. Davis, M. 2006. Planet of Slums. London/New York, New York, Verso. Dawson, A. 2017. Extreme Cities. London, Verso. Dolowitz, D., and Marsh, D. 1996. Who learns what? From whom? A review of the policy transfer. Literature. Political Studies, 44, 2, pages 343. 357. https://doi.org/10.1111/j.1467-9248.1996.tb00334.x. Dolowitz, D., and Marsh, D. 2000. Learning from Abroad, the Role of Policy Transfer in Contemporary Policymaking. Governance, 13, 1, pages 5 to 23. https://doi.org/10.1111/0952-1895.00121. Doxiadis, C.A. 1968. Ecumenopolis, Tomorrow's City. In E. Britannica, ed., Britannica Book of the Year, pages 26 to 30. Chicago, I.L. Encyclopaedia Britannica, Inc. Dragonas, p. 2011. In Greeklish, sigma tau omicron iota chi epsilon alpha. Kappa alpha tau alpha gamma omega gamma tau eta nu epsilon rho eta alpha rho chi iota tau epsilon kappa tau omicron nu iota kappa sigma tau eta nu. Epsilon lambda delta alpha. In Greeklish, elements of the ancestry of contemporary architecture in Greece. Athens, theta mu alpha tau alpha chi rho omicron upsilon plus tau epsilon chi nu. Topics of Space and Arts. Easterling, K. 2014. Extra Statecraft, The Power of Infrastructure Space. London/Brooklyn, New York. Verso. Journal of Contemporary Urban Affairs, 4, 1, 71-78/2020. M.Sc. Antonios Tsiligiannis 77. Ekonomou, D., Gedimes, P., Demothats, Z., Petrakos, G., and Pyrgides, Y. 2001. Omicron delta iota epsilon theta nu rho lambda omicron tau eta. Alpha theta nu alpha. The International Role of Athens. Volos, University of Thessaly Press. Ekonomou, D., Petrakos, G., and Psycharis, Y. 2016. National Urban Policy in Greece. In L. van den Berg, E. Braun, and J. van der Meer, eds, National Policy Responses to Urban Challenges in Europe, pages 193 to 216. Oxfordshire/New York. New York, Routledge. Emmanuel, D. 1994. On the Structure of Housing. Accumulation and the Role of Family Wealth. Transfers in the Greek Housing System. London, Routledge. Gallen, M. 1987. Society in the Making, the Study of Technology as a Tool for Sociological Analysis. In W. E. Bidger, T. P. Hughes, and T. J. Pinch, eds, The Social Construction of Technological Systems, New Directions in the Sociology and History of Technology, pages 83. 84. Cambridge, Ma/London, The MIT Press. Giannakuru, G. 2004. The Implementation of EU Environmental Policy in Greece. Europeanization and Mechanisms of Change. In D.G. Dimitrakopoulos, and A.G. Passes, eds, Greece in the European Union, Europe and the Nation-State, pages 51 to 60. London/New York, New York, Routledge. Graham, S., and Marvin, S. 2001. Splintering Urbanism. Oxfordshire, Routledge. Gunder, M. 2010, 11. Planning as the Ideology of Neoliberal, Space. Planning Theory, 9, pp. 298 to 314. https://doi.org/10.1177/14730952103688878. Hansen, T., and Koenen, L. 2015. The Geography of Sustainability Transitions, Review, Synthesis and Reflections on an Emergent Research Field. Environmental Innovation and Societal Transitions, 17, pages 92 to 109. https://doi.org/10.1016/j.est.2014.11.001. Heidenreich, E., de Rose, S., and Detlev, I. 2007. Alpha Theta Nu Alpha, Eta Kappa Omicron Iota Nu Omega Nu Iota Kappa Delta Eta Mu Iota Omicron Upsilon Rho Gamma Alpha Mu Iota Alpha Mu Epsilon Sigma Omicron Gamma Epsilon Iota Alpha Kappa Mu Eta Tau Rho Pi Omicron Lambda Eta Athens, the social creation of a Mediterranean metropolis. Athens, Critique. Carides, D.N. 2008. Tau Alpha Epsilon Pi Tau Beta Iota Beta Lambda Alpha Tau Eta Pi Omicron Lambda Epsilon Omicron Delta Omicron Mu Alpha. The 7 Books of Urban Planning. Athens, Papasaterio. Carides, D.N. 2014. Athens from 1456 to 1920, the town under Ottoman rule and the 19th century capital city. Oxford. Archeo Press. Carides, D.N. 2015. Athens from 1920 to 1940, a true and just account of how history was enveloped by a modern city and the place became an event. Oxford. Archeo Press. Karvanen, A. 2011. Politics of Urban Runoff. Nature, Technology, and the Sustainable City. Cambridge, Ma/London, The MIT Press. Koolhaas, R. 2014, September 24. My Thoughts on the Smart City. E-Commission, ed. Retrieved. March 28, 2019, from Digital Minds for a New Europe. http://ec.europa.eu/archives/commission_2010-2014/crows/n/content/my thoughts smart city. remkoolhaas.html. Lefebvre, H. 1996. Writings on Cities. E. Kaufman. and E. Liebes, Transaction. Oxford/Malden, Ma. Blackwell Publishers. Leontidou, L. 1990. The Mediterranean City in Transition, Social Change and Urban Development. Cambridge, Cambridge University Press. Moran, M. 2010. Policy Making in an Interdependent World. In-C. Hay, ed., New Directions in Political Science, Responses to the Challenges of an Interdependent World, p. 27. Basingstoke, Palgrave Macmillan. OECD. 2009. OECD Environmental Performance Reviews, Greece, pages 15 to 16. Paris, OECD. https://doi.org/10.1787/9789264061330n. Pascu, A. 2008. Urban Block in Post-War. Athens, Development, Form, and Social Context. Pages 38-42. Zurich, Eth. Zurich. https://doi.org/10.3929/ethsa005810305. Peters, B.G. 1996. Political institutions, Old and New. In R. E. Gooden, and H. D. Klingemann. eds. A New Handbook of Political Science, pages 205 to 220. Oxford, Oxford University Press. Petropoulou, c. 2011. Développement urbain et éco-paysages urbains, une étude sur les quartiers de Mexico et d'Athènes urban. Development in Urban Eco-Landscapes, a study of the neighborhoods of Mexico and Athens. Paris, L. Harmattan. Privlakis, G. 2000. Athènes, Urbanisme, Culture. Et Politique Athens, Urbanism, Culture and Politics. Paris, L. Harmattan. Journal of Contemporary Urban Affairs, 4, 1, 71-78/2020. M.Sc. Antonios Tsiligiannis 78. Rodrigue, J.P., Comtois, C., and Slack, B. 2013. The Geography of Transport Systems. New York. Routledge. Rogerson, R., and Boyle, M. 2000. Property, Politics, and the Neoliberal Revolution in Urban Scotland. Progress in Planning, 54, 3. Pages 133-196. https://doi.org/10.1016/S0305-9006, 00, 00011-8. G.M. 2000. Alpha Theta Nu Alpha 1830-2000, Epsilon Xi Lambda Iota Xi Eta. Pi Omicron Lambda Epsilon Omicron Delta Omicron Mu Alpha, Mu Epsilon Tau Alpha Phi Omicron Rho Athens 1830. -2000, Evolution, Urbanism, Transports. Athens. Symmetria Editions. Tsiligiannis, P., and Kaparos, G. 2013. Tau Alpha Rho Gamma Alpha. Upsilon Pi Omicron Delta Omicron Mu Nu Sigma Tau Eta Nu Epsilon Lambda Lambda Delta Alpha Kappa Alpha Iota Eta Pi Alpha Rho Omicron Upsilon Sigma Alpha Tau Omega Nu. Mu Epsilon Gamma Lambda Omega Nu Rho Gamma Omega Nu Mu Epsilon Tau Alpha Phi Omicron Rho Iota Kappa Nu Upsilon Pi Omicron Delta Omicron Mu Nu. M Epsilon Tau Alpha Beta Alpha Lambda Lambda Mu Epsilon Nu Alpha Upsilon Pi Omicron Delta Epsilon Gamma Mu Alpha Tau Alpha and Pi Rho Omicron Tau Epsilon Rho Alpha Iota Tau Eta Tau Epsilon. Infrastructure projects in Greece and the presence of large transport infrastructure projects, changing patterns and priorities. Epsilon Pi Iota Sigma Tau Eta Mu Omicron Nu Iota Kappa Pi Epsilon Rho Iota Omicron Delta Iota Kappa Alpha Epsilon Iota Chi Rho Omicron Churros. Scientific Magazine, 18, pages 12-65. Retrieved from http://www.aeihoros.gr/issues/el/issues/aei-Ixores. -18. Stathakis, G., and Chatzimachalis, K. 2004. Alpha Theta Nu Alpha. Delta Iota Epsilon Theta Nu Pi Lambda Eta, Alpha Pi Tau Eta Nu Epsilon Pi Iota Theta Upsilon Mu Alpha Tau Omega Nu Omicron Lambda Gamma Omega Nu. Sigma Tau Eta Nu Pi Rho Alpha Gamma Mu Alpha Tau Iota Kappa Tau Eta Tau Alpha Tau Omega Nu Pi Omicron Lambda Lambda Nu Athens. International City, From the Desire of the Few to the Reality of the Many. Geographies, 7. Pages 26-47. Retrieved from http://stia.hua.gr/file/lib/default/da. TA/346/ The File. Stone, D. 2004. Transfer Agents and Global Networks in the Transnationalization of Policy. Journal of European Public Policy, 11, 3, pages 545. 566. https://doi.org/10.1080/135017604100016942941. Theocharopoulou, I. 2017. Builders, Housewives, and the Construction of Modern Athens. London, Black Dog Publishing Limited. Torfing, J. 1999. New Theories of Discourse. Lacaw, Mouth and Zizek, 1st ed. Oxford / Malden, Ma, Wiley Blackwell. Varney-Lies, K. 2009. The Infrastructural City. Networked Ecologies in Los Angeles, Barcelona / New York, New York, actor. Waldheim, C. 2016. Landscape as Urbanism, A. General Theory. Princeton, New Jersey / Oxfordshire. Princeton University Press. Epsilon Phi Eta Mu Epsilon Rho Tau Eta Kappa Upsilon Beta Epsilon Rho Nu Sigma Epsilon Omega Government. Gazette. 1929. Pi Epsilon Rho Tau Eta Iota Delta Iota Omicron Kappa Tau Eta Sigma Alpha Kappa Alpha Tau. Omicron Rho Phi Omicron Upsilon. Phi Epsilon Kappa 4/Alpha/09-01-1929, Nu Mu Omicron 3741/1929 on. Property Ownership of Stories, GGI 4/Alpha/09-01. 1929, Law 3741/1929. Athens, Epsilon Phi Eta Mu Epsilon Rho Delta Alpha Tau Eta. Kappa Upsilon Beta Epsilon Rho Nu Sigma Epsilon Omega Government Gazette. Retrieved from http://bit.do/e3sjp. Epsilon Phi Eta Mu Epsilon Rho Tau Eta Kappa Upsilon Beta Epsilon Rho Nu Sigma Epsilon Omega Government. Gazette. 1929. Gamma Epsilon Nu Iota Kappa Omicron Delta Omicron Mu Iota Kappa. Kappa Alpha Nu Omicron Nu Iota Sigma Mu, Phi Epsilon Kappa. 155/Alpha/22-04-1929 State Construction Code. 155/Alpha/22-04-1929. Athens, Epsilon Phi Eta Mu Epsilon Rho Tau Eta. Kappa Upsilon Beta Epsilon Rho Nu Sigma Epsilon Omega Government Gazette. Retrieved from http://bit.do/e3sj8. Epsilon Phi Eta Mu Epsilon Rho Tau Eta Kappa Upsilon Beta Epsilon Rho Nu Sigma Epsilon Omega Government. Gazette. 2013. Alpha Nu Tau Iota Mu Epsilon Tau Pi Iota Sigma Eta Tau Eta Alpha Upsilon Theta Alpha Rho Epsilon Tau Eta. Delta Mu Eta Sigma Eta, Phi Epsilon Kappa 174/Alpha/08-08-2013, Nu Mu Omicron. 4178/2013 Measures Against Illegal Constructions, GGI 174/Alpha/08-08-2013, Law. 4178/2013. Athens, Epsilon Phi Eta Mu Epsilon Rho Tau Eta. Kappa Upsilon Beta Epsilon Rho Nu Sigma Epsilon Omega Government Gazette. Retrieved from http://bit.do/e3skm. Epsilon Phi Eta Mu Epsilon Rho Tau Eta Kappa Upsilon Beta Epsilon Rho Nu Sigma Epsilon Omega Government. Gazette. 2014. Nu Omicron Rho Upsilon Theta Mu Iota Sigma Tau Iota Kappa Sigma Chi Delta Iota Omicron Alpha Theta Nu Alpha. Alpha Tau Tau Iota Kappa, Phi Epsilon Kappa 156/Alpha/01-08-2014, Nu Mu Omicron. 4277/2014 New Regulatory Plan of Athens. Attica, GGI 156/Alpha/01-08-2014, Law. 4277/2014. Athens, epsilon phi eta mu epsilon rho tau eta kappa upsilon beta epsilon rho nu sigma epsilon omega. Government Gazette. Retrieved from http://bit.do/e3 sky. Journal of Contemporary Urban Affairs, 4, 1, 71-78/2020. M.Sc. Antonios Tsiligiannis 79. How to cite this article. Tsiligiannis, A. 2020. Why isn't urban development sustainable? An institutional approach to the case of Athens, Greece. Journal of Contemporary Urban Affairs, 4, 1, 71-78. https://doi.org/10.25034/IJQA.2020.v4n1-7